Miss Lockridge, you've dragged the defendant, Mr. Tidwell, to court because he has refused to acknowledge your 10-month-old son, King.
And today we are stepping right into the middle of a courtroom drama. It's intense.
It really is. We're looking at Lockridge versus Tidwell, a paternity case with, a lot of history. 6 volatile years packed into this.
Yeah, and the stakes couldn't be higher right from the start. You've got Miss Lockridge, the mother, and she is absolutely 100% certain Mr. Tidwell is the father of her baby boy, King. He's 10 months old.
100% certainty. And she's there to prove it right, to get that legal paternity established.
Exactly. But then you have Mr. Tidwell. He denies it completely. He says he's not the father, thinks it's probably someone else.
Okay, so far a pretty standard setup for these kinds of cases, unfortunately. Yeah. But here's where it gets, really strange.
Right, because Mr. Tidwell, despite denying paternity, despite claiming no real relationship, he admits he named the child King.
He named him. Wow. Okay, that's the hook right there. Why name a child you believe isn't yours and you have no connection with?
It's this huge contradiction we're diving into, a kind of symbolic act versus total biological denial. We're going to trace this whole turbulent story.
The pregnancy reveal, which is a story in itself.
Oh, yeah.
And the sheer emotional weight on Miss Lockridge leading up to that final dramatic DNA result.
Our goal isn't just what happened, but really trying to understand why. Why was her conviction so absolute? Why his denial so firm despite the naming?
So her aim, get a father for her son. His claim. She's obsessed, needs to find the real dad. Let's start unpacking it, maybe with the burden she described carrying.
Yeah, that's a good place to start. The focus is King, the 10-month-old. Miss Lockridge tells the court she's doing everything alone.
And she details this incredible journey just to get the baby to see Mr. Tidwell, right?
Incredible is the word. 4 hours by bus. Multiple buses, actually. Or a 2-hour drive if she could arrange a car, just for a visit.
Wow. 4 hours on buses with a baby.
Yeah.
That's dedication.
And she makes it clear this effort isn't met with any support from him. No diapers, no clothes, nothing practical.
Which leads to that really powerful line she delivers in court, doesn't it?
It does. She says, "He named my son King. And how am I supposed to raise a king when he's not there?" It's aimed right at him, connecting the name to the responsibility.
And Tidwell's response. He confirms he gave her the name King.
He does confirm it. But then, almost immediately, he pivots right back to his main argument. That she's obsessed. He says she wants me to be the dad more than she really believes I'm the dad.
So he frames her certainty as desire, not belief. What about their actual history? 6 years is a long time.
Well, their accounts are polar opposites, really. Lockridge calls it a 6-year on and off thing. She claims they were properly together for the first year, then it became more casual sex.
Okay.
She even mentions taking a 2-year break at one point to get her life back on track. She had another child during that time, too.
And Tidwell was quick to say that child wasn't his, I get.
Instantly. Jumped right on that. But for him, the whole 6 years, he downplays it massively. He insists, no relationship, just casual sex. Period.
Just casual. For 6 years, that feels like minimizing, doesn't it? Does the court challenge him on that? It seems relevant to his level of responsibility, maybe.
They do push back on that later, yeah. Especially when they talk about enabling behavior. But his view of it being only casual is key to why he says he was suspicious about King's conception.
Right. He thought she was seeing someone else.
Yeah. He flat out tells the court he believes she was sleeping with another guy around the time King was conceived. Said her past actions made him suspicious.
And her defense to that.
It's very practical, almost brutally logical. She basically says, look, why would I go through all that effort, the 4-hour bus trip, 3 different buses just to sleep with you if I had other options closer to home?
That's a compelling point, actually.
Yeah.
Sheer effort involved.
It reinforces her conviction, you see. For her, that effort proves he must have been the only one. Which connects to how she told him about the pregnancy. It wasn't exactly conventional.
No. What happened?
They had sex. A week later, he comes home, finds a note and an ultrasound picture just left on his bed.
Just left there. No conversation.
Nope. The note basically said she was sorry. She didn't know how else to tell him.
Why do it like that?
Her reason was fear. She said she knew he'd have a negative reaction, guaranteed, especially if his brother was around, which he apparently was. She wanted to avoid that immediate confrontation.
Avoid the negativity.
Yeah, okay.
But then comes the really surprising part about why she was actually excited, right?
Yeah, this is a major twist in the emotional landscape. It turns out her excitement wasn't just about having a baby or even necessarily his baby in a romantic sense.
So what was it?
She testified she got excited because she'd heard a rumor just before she got pregnant that Mr. Tidwell had gotten another woman pregnant. about 4 months earlier.
Wow. Okay, that changes things. So she asked him about this other pregnancy.
She did, and his response to her question about the other woman was essentially, if it's mine, then I'm going to take care of it.
And she heard that as potential.
Exactly. She testified that hearing him say he'd step up for that baby made her excited to have his baby. It's like she saw it as an opening, maybe a path to the commitment she wanted based on how he reacted to someone else. It's quite complex emotionally.
That is really complex. A reactive motivation. Does she still claim she's not obsessed, though, after admitting that?
She does. She clarifies her feelings in court, says she has a lot of love for him, but insists she's not in love with him. She argues, look, if I was truly obsessed, would I have dated anyone else during those 6 years? Which implies she did.
Okay, so fast forward to the pregnancy itself. She felt very alone based on the testimony.
Profoundly alone. She describes being in labor for 36 hours, completely by herself.
36 hours.
No one. It got so bad, apparently, that a nurse actually called the doctor just to get permission to stay with her because there was literally no support person there.
That's heartbreaking. And Tidwell knew she was pregnant the whole time.
Oh, absolutely. She made sure of it. She told the court she sent him constant updates, texts about every single doctor's appointment, updates on weight gain, any changes. She even sent voice recordings of the baby's heartbeat.
She sent him the heartbeat recordings.
Yeah.
And what was his justification for, well, not being involved?
Pretty straightforward from his perspective. He said he had a job, worked every day, couldn't just take off time whenever, and underlying it all was his doubt.
He kept bringing that up.
Constantly. He'd respond to her updates by asking things like who else she had up there trying to be the dad, basically using his skepticism as a reason to stay detached.
Which leads her to make that really sharp distinction in court, the difference between a dad and a father.
Yes, that was a key moment. She says, I need a father for my child, not a dad. She points at him and says, you're the dad, you're the sperm donor. I need my son to have a father.
Defining the roles. Biological versus relational.
Precisely. She's almost accepting the biological possibility, but demanding the relational commitment, the one symbolized by him giving the name King. It's a powerful plea based entirely on that expectation he created, perhaps unintentionally.
And his family, his mother, Miss Harrington, she backed him up.
Strongly. Supported his claim of obsession. She even brought up this alleged prayer closet Miss Lockridge supposedly had, dedicated to Tidwell becoming her husband.
A prayer closet. Wow. That doesn't help Miss Lockridge's denial of obsession.
Not at all. Miss Harrington also flatly denied any resemblance between King and her son, and she questioned the timing, suggesting it made paternity unlikely from her point of view. So, solid family backing for his stance.
Okay, this is where the court kind of steps in and analyzes his behavior too, right? The judge's point about enabling.
Exactly. The judge really presses Tidwell, asks him, look, you knew how she felt. You knew she was traveling 4 hours by bus. You knew she believed you were the one, and yet you continued sleeping with her unprotected. Weren't you essentially feeding the obsession?
Enabling the very behavior you're complaining about now.
That was the implication. Tidwell denied leading her on, of course, but the court's perspective is clear. His continued casual involvement, however minimal he saw it, gave her just enough hope to keep that conviction burning so fiercely.
Which created this whole situation.
The Nevada incident. Tidwell and his mother tell this story about Lockridge leaving baby King with them for 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Where did she go?
She said she was going to Nevada for a modeling job, a paid job, she claimed.
Okay. And her explanation for leaving the baby?
She framed it as giving them an opportunity to spend time with their son. She said she offered proof of the job too. Seems reasonable enough on the surface.
But something happened when she came back.
Things got dramatic. She claims she cut the trip short, paid extra for the first flight back, because Tidwell threatened over the phone to keep King. She says she thought he was trying to steal my son.
He threatened to keep the baby. Okay, that would definitely bring a mother back fast.
Right, but here's the detail Tidwell and his mother seize on. He claims she showed up to get King incredibly quickly after that threat, like within an hour. And crucially, she wasn't alone.
Who was she with?
He claims she arrived with a man in a gray or white car. For Tidwell, seeing her show up with another man right after this 2-week trip, it just confirmed all his suspicions about her fidelity around the time of conception.
And Lockridge denies this. denies the man in the car.
Calls it a bold-faced lie, absolutely denies it. But Tidwell adds she just snatched the baby and left in such a rush she forgot bottles and other things. So for them, this whole episode is proof she's unreliable and likely involved with others.
It really solidifies their doubt into certainty, doesn't it?
Completely. So as things are wrapping up in court, Lockridge makes one last emotional appeal using visual evidence.
Pictures.
Yeah, she submits baby pictures of King alongside baby pictures of Mr. Tidwell. She points out specific things like earmarks, claiming King looks exactly like Tidwell's side of the family, trying to make that visual connection.
And the reaction from Tidwell and his mother.
Immediate, flat denial. No resemblance whatsoever, they say. And then Mr. Tidwell makes this really controversial comment.
What did he say?
He says King looks like an Ethiopian baby, just completely distancing the child's appearance from himself in a pretty shocking way.
Wow. Okay, so visual evidence isn't working. What about the birth certificate? The name again.
Right. She submits the birth certificate. It shows the father's name section is blank. And she argues, again, the man who named him King Tidwell should be on that certificate, putting responsibility back on him via the name.
And Tidwell's final word on why he named him.
He clarifies his position. He says, yes, he gave her the name, but only because at that specific moment, he thought the baby might be his.
Tidwell's firm denial. Now for the answer.
The results are read out in the matter of Lockridge versus Tidwell regarding 10-month-old King Tidwell.
Mr. Tidwell.
Yeah.
You are. Not the father.
Not the father. Wow, the reaction in the courtroom must have been intense. Immediate and raw. The sources describe Miss Lockridge just screaming, breaking down completely. She turns to Mr. Tidwell and his family and apologizes, saying it's from the bottom of my broken heart.
Just utter devastation. That certainty completely shattered.
Totally shattered. And then comes that final heartbreaking admission through tears. I have no idea who his dad is at this point.
Oh, man. After being so sure to suddenly have no idea, that's rough.